Okay. This is Mr. Engle, Lyndon Engle, for Accounting 2. We call it Advanced Accounting. There are a couple kids that might have taken Accounting 2 already, and they're sort of still in the class taking what we call Accounting 3. Some of the work that they do is right with the Accounting 2 kids. Others is going to be some independent study type things. Based on what happened last spring with with the COVID and stuff. So I just don't think that we have any kids right now that are totally familiar with the Accounting 2 curriculum. So a lot of the work this year is going to be going through some of the same things again. So I'll go over what the Accounting 2 kids normally do through the course. All right. The first two chapters here, department purchases and sales, cash payments, cash receipts. That's a good way for the advanced book to review what we did in Accounting 1. The only difference is it wasn't a departmental thing in Accounting 1, and it is here. So we're talking about maybe a business that purchases multiple items and sells multiple items, whereas in Accounting 1, it was just basically you're selling one product. Okay. Um, the payroll unit is the same way, a quick little review of payroll, but now we're going to separate things into different departments. So we'll have a payroll register, produce all the payroll documents that a company would produce in order to pay their employees. Chapter 4, financial reporting. So we'll go over like department margin statements, how much what our profit margins are on each of our products, and then what our income is as a business as a whole. Also, like statements of stockholders' equity, balance sheets, things like that. Chapter 5, some inventory, FIFO, LIFO. We do a gross profit method, and we now have a retail method of estimating how much inventory a store would actually have. And then dealing with some uncollectible accounts for customers that we had granted credit to. Chapter 7, accounting for plant assets, which is basically depreciation. So in Accounting 1, we dealt with mostly the straight line method. Accounting 2, we'll review that, but also add a couple other accelerated depreciation methods that are acceptable by the IRS. Chapter 8 gets into a lot of prepaid accruals, basically timing of things, like when do we recognize revenue, when do we recognize expenses, that type of thing. And then chapter 10, we start talking more about how to finance a business through issuance of stock, paying of dividends. Chapter 12, instead of using stock and giving up ownership, we talk about bonds as a financing source for a business. Chapter 13, financial reporting and analysis. We do a lot of income statement, balance sheet, a lot of financial statement analysis there. Liquidity ratios, current ratio, quick ratio, a lot of like leverage ratios with debt and equity, that type of thing. So it really teaches kids how to basically use what they've already done in the course, but now let's analyze it to see if the numbers are good, bad, better than a competitor, that type of thing. A new financial statement that we introduce in Accounting 2 is the statement of cash flows. It's one of the big evaluations of a company with the income statement and the balance sheet, which we did in Accounting 1, review a little bit here. But the statement of cash flows is very important too, and we hadn't got to that in our previous course. And then we do some budgetary things where we'll look at setting up things for a coming year, and try to have a budget set up for different departments, things like that. Try to analyze and predict what our cash flows are going to be, how much cash is coming in, how much money we're planning to spend, that type of thing. And then at the end, we basically have usually we get to about chapter 16 or 17, but we make some good decisions or educated decisions using what we call cost, volume, profit analysis. So we'll have a lot of what if situations. What if we make money or we sell this amount of product? What if our costs are this? We distinguish there between variable costs and fixed costs of a business. and then we can analyze and see like how many units we need to sell to break even and make some profits. All right, so that's the course. I think it's a good introductory course for anybody. Well, it's not introductory, but it's a good course to have, especially if you're going on to study any type of business at the college level, or if you're working in business, if you have a family business, maybe give you an idea of hey, what kinds of things a business owner would have to see and understand to understand the financial condition of their business. All right. My email address is lengle@cocalico.org. If anybody ever has any questions, please feel free to give me a call.